Thanks for watching Bruins 360. I'm Johnny Gammon. Let's take a look at this last weekend's games for our basketball teams. On Saturday, the men's and women's teams played in their final regular season game at home against Southern Wesleyan University. The Lady Bruins got things started with back and forth action between the Warriors and the Bruins. Maggie Ford and Kendra Jeffcott, as well as Hannah Tompkins, all contributed points, and the Bruins gained a 53-50 victory. During the game, Kendra Jeffcott became the second Bruin in history to gain 1,000 career points. The men's game followed, and the Bruins struggled as the Warriors came out with some red-hot shooting, and they trailed at the half 49-26. The second half saw more determined Bruins, but despite a good second-half run, the Warriors still ended the night ahead 84-68. Earlier this week, we sat down with Faith Henry of the women's basketball team. She's our Double Alt Bruin of the Week.
For all your legal needs, call Brian Ramey and Associates, 864-295-0000.
All right, I'm here with Faith Henry of the women's basketball team. Faith, thanks so much for taking the time to join us.
Yeah.
Now that you have played, your last home game, I know you've had a couple of days now to think about that and to reminisce on it, but it was a special night nonetheless. But I'm going to ask you some of the same questions that we talked about in the press conference, just for those viewers that are watching the show. So, just talk to me about year one when you first came in. It's a brand new program.
Yeah.
Nobody had played basketball here before, as far as an intercollegiate team had gone. So just talk to me about the emotions and when you found out, hey, I'm going to be one of the first or the first to be on the team.
Well, I was really excited, obviously, but it was something brand new because in high school, I just, played basketball, and I was thinking I would like to play college basketball, but I'm going to Bob Jones, and so I'm just going to have to put that aside. And so I remember my freshman year and being in chapel, and they made the announcement we're going to have intercollegiate sports, and I was thrilled to no end. And I called home immediately and told my parents, and they were excited too. So then I just had to start, practicing and getting ready. And the next year came, and Coach LeVere came, and everyone was all excited, and tryouts came. And I remember standing outside of the athletic offices waiting for him to post that final list up, and I remember taking a picture of it and seeing my name, and I still have that picture. And I was just so excited, and the girls that were on that first year team, it was just great. It was just a family atmosphere that I hadn't even experienced in high school, just because we're all here and we all live together. We practice more than we did in high school. It was just totally different. So it was an experience I just never had before, but it was great.
Now let's fast forward to the end of year 3 now, and you've now played your last home game, and now we have the regional tournament, of course, coming up. But as you look back now over the course of 3 years, what has been different and what has been the same kind of all across those 3 years?
Well, it's been different because the first year you play, we're just a first-year team. We're all just trying to scope out everything and just see what's going on. But then year 2 came. We're like, okay, we're not an inaugural team anymore. We have some recruits here. And so positions and roles shift, and mine definitely did. And so it was in these in-between times I had to look and say, okay, Faith, do you really want to do this? Are you committed to this? And I said, yes. I mean, what else am I going to do? I really want to play. So coming from like year 1 to year 2 and having that upper level of play, and we're not an inaugural team anymore, so we have to be better. And so working harder and harder and harder, and then to year 3, the same thing, just more work and more commitment, and working on each person's role and having to learn what my role is and having to fill that. So
you talked about your role a little bit, and you primarily came off the bench for the team. Didn't get a ton of minutes, but Coach LeVere said time and time again the effort and the concentration that you had helped everybody around you. So just talk a little bit about that role, because most people when they play on a team can get really discouraged because, hey, I'm not getting my minutes or I'm not getting my shots or that kind of thing. So how you just embrace that role and took it?
I mean, it is discouraging at times, but learning that my role is to have a good attitude and encourage my teammates. That is what I need to do, and that's so important because we all need to be encouraged, but since my position was a little bit different than all of theirs, I could do that. And working and having a position in that they trust me and they know me and they know my heart because I've been here since year one. And so, and some of the girls who haven't been here since year one, like, they know that I've been there and I've had those same feelings that they've had, and to push them to be better too. And I also have to be an example to them and to, like, our freshman Anna. I have to be an example of hard work. I have to work hard just as they have to work hard. So even though it was hard at times, that's not where the focus is. My focus is on my team and my teammates. And when my attitude isn't right, then what is that telling them? You know? So I have to think about that, and commitment, roles, that's it, you know?
Going forward from this now, as you look back, you know, graduation's coming up in 12 weeks, I think, or something like that. But what is one thing that you're going to take with you from the program that's going to help you?
Being determined, even when things don't seem to go my way, knowing that this is where I am and this is what I'm going to do, so I'm going to have to work hard to be the best that I can be and always be ready. And that's one thing that coach has always told me. He said, I want you to be ready. Yeah. And sometimes I'm like, well, ready for what? Well, you need to be ready. And so I won't always know what I'm supposed to be ready for, but I need to be working hard and doing the little things each day that I know I need to be doing so that I can be ready for whatever comes my way.
All right, that's Faith Henry of the women's basketball team. Thanks so much for joining us. Now let's take a look at what's coming up for our Bruins teams. The beginning of March means it's time for some spring soccer, and the Lady Bruins will kick it off for the soccer spring season coming up on March 6th as they play host to an alumni game that will be at Alumni Stadium, and admission is free to the public. The men's golf team will travel to Panama Beach, Florida on March 9th to compete in their first match of the spring season. That is the Panama City Spring Invitational. You can follow all of the spring teams and their schedules at bjubruins.com, or you can download the app at the App Store or the Google Play Store. Just search BJU Bruins. You'll have stats, rosters, and so much more. I'm Johnny Gammett. Thanks for watching Bruins 360.